Zdravo, zdravo, kako se govoriš, така и ovaj път, kada конево музичката емисија Hard and Heavy. Ovaj път се наоѓаме на местото од зосторството, се наоѓаме на Алпите, во Словенија, во Томин на Metaldays, како и секогаш, така и ovaj път. И тоа, имаме и ovaj път нови соговорници. Ние доаѓаат од Newcastle. Станува збор за New Wave of the British Heavy Metal, the pioneer of the heavy metal, who started 1979. The band coming from Newcastle. И ова е заслуга на нашиот спонзор, Hard Rock Club од Bitola. The name is band, it's Satan.
Nice one, dude. Yeah, that's about as evil as we get, yeah.
This is a joke, because I know the band, you change free time and things, so maybe, and many people say, oh, this is Satan. It's very scary. But it's a joke, yeah?
Yeah, the thing is, you know, I mean, the name Satan is probably the best name that a heavy metal band could have.
Yeah.
But we don't do any songs about Satan at all, and that is the point. We kind of highlight things that are wrong with the world, rather, because that's the real evil, that's the real satanic thing, really. To Donald Trump.
Yeah,
I didn't say that, he said that.
He's definitely Satan.
Well, yes, exactly, but George Bush. Yeah? Okay.
There's plenty of other Satans out there, we're just the band.
Yeah, we're just the band.
Yeah. The name, this is just sarcasm, just only the name.
Yeah, just the name.
Yeah.
It's just a name.
Yeah. You started in 1979, but do you know you 3 times you have the pause and 3 times you have 3 nights, night, in the symbolic. 1979, you broke in 1989. You started after 1919. You have 3 nights. It's very interesting. You must. Check. Not 6. This is night. Free time. Yeah, because I see.
In England, 999 is the emergency number for the emergency service.
Yeah.
It's like the fire service. So.
If you have a problem, 999 emergency. Here the Satan, the band for you and for me. Ow! Tell me how they started. 1979.
Oh, right. It was when we were at school. I was at school with Rusty, the guitarist, and we decided if he got a guitar, and we went round with a couple of friends to listen to him play the guitar, and we decided to form a band then, except none of us had any instruments or anything, but we had the name and the logo already done. So before we had the band set up, we had what we were going to do, you know, the name Satan and stuff, and obviously heavy metal band. Yeah. We were all into heavy metal at that time, going to see bands like Judas Priest, the Scorpions, and Rush, and we really liked all that music in the 70s, and there was a big scene in Newcastle kicking off at that time for the new wave of British heavy metal. You know, a lot of bands from that area, like Raven and Venom, and a lot more. You know, and. So yeah, we're just part of that scene that happened at the time.
This band started new wave of the British heavy metal from Newcastle, from England. Where they started heavy metal. This is amazing.
The music in the early 80s, it really was all the bands.
Well, Newcastle's nickname was Metal City.
Yeah,
because of that.
Time. Yeah. I don't know what happened because it's changed now. There's nothing
totally
like that
changed now.
But in the 80s, there was just so many bands in these rehearsal rooms. Just doing you with a British heavy metal.
Tell me, why do many pause in the beat? Because when the format it's 1979, you one time it's broken, and after they changed the name, and after the started it's in 1989, and after the broken and changed the name. Why too many?
We're a bit indecisive. I think that's the problem. The first idea we had was probably the right idea, which is why we've harked back to it. Why we're doing that now, and we haven't reformed Blind Fury recently. It's not going to happen, I don't think. But you know, what you start with, where the earth is, where your heart is what works when you get older and stuff. So we've stuck to that now, you know. I think this is probably the last name change back. Yeah. It's not really a name change; it's a name reformation.
Everybody know they started.
Yeah,
we could just flip the logo over.
We could do, yeah, where it basically works.
Yeah.
There's a name for that when you can flip it round.
I don't know. Steve knows. What is that?
You remember?
The mirror image, it looks exactly the same in reverse as it does Satan, because the N is like the S.
Yeah, that's something to do with vampires, though, isn't it? And mirrors and turning it around. It looks like two teeth as well, doesn't it?
Symmetrical, yeah.
Yeah.
Went further.
There is a name for it. I'm not sure what it is at this moment in time.
I'll Google it.
Oh yeah, we'll find out.
Tell me, who write the lyrics and where take the inspiration for?
We all write them, but Russ writes a lot of them, and it's right from the start. We've written most of the stuff's about the issues we see in the news and what's happening in the world. So it's like social commentary. Sometimes we dip back into history and do write songs about historical events, and it's all about, like Brian was saying, about the evil that happens in the world. Rather than we don't write any songs about the occult or black magic or anything like that. You know, we've got nothing to do with that side of things. It's all about really all what we see happening in the world, the evil that happens in the world, and that represents what we think is Satan.
The wrong of the world. You know, to us, Satan is the wrong side of the world, not particularly the devil or God of the religious side. It's kind of the evil that men do, to quote something, you know.
That's it. There's got to be a song title in there somewhere.
There probably is, isn't there?
There's also a movie.
I think it's been used a few times before.
Yeah.
But you know, humans are probably more evil than anything else on the planet.
Yes.
666 is the number beast.
Yeah,
we must change the war, stop the war, peace and love. No, normal. We are rebel, but it's not only people who has many the propaganda be the negative people with one hire, the satanic and bullshit and etc. in the movie and.
It doesn't sound the same when it's 18. When you add them together, 666, and put 18. We can change the world by just saying 18.
But when you started in 2011, I think so, you reunion, it's the B, and now you're active exist. And after 2040, you have the new material, no album. Before the B, the live album, who is the B, so much energy and very good and nice. Because in 2011 you be in Vakin, or 2040, I think so.
We did Keep It True was one of the first kind of things we got back together again for. There was a guy called Ollie, sort of really hassled us, and he did it for years. Yeah, it was supposed to be a one-off gig basically that we sort of went, we'll get back together, do that for him. But we just got on so well, and it all just gelled, and everything clicked. Like there wasn't a gap. There was no gap between 83 and...
No, there wasn't. It just, when we got back together to do that, you would think it was just like yesterday, but it was in reality, it was 28 years had gone by. But when you put the five of us together, it just works. It just clicks. It gels, and we have a spark that just seems to work. And I'm not going to question it, because it just works for us. And I think that's an amazing thing. But I think it was probably always on the cards that we would get back together at some point and do something. Because although we went our separate ways in 1984, but we remained friends. There was no breaking up or arguments or fights or anything like that. It was just decisions made that we felt were right for the band at the time, and that is fine. You can't say that's wrong, because you do what you think is right, and as long as you do that, then that's fine. But I think it was always a case of we always followed each other's careers, doing what we were doing, and it was always on the cards that we were going to get back together at some point, I think. And it's and thank God we did, because what we've achieved in the last few years has been quite phenomenal, and it has surprised us, really.
We kind of always approached it as a one-off. Like the festival, Keep It True was a one-off. And then the first
Yeah.
album was like, we'll do
A
that and
one-off.
see here, yeah. And then
See how it
obviously
goes.
2 albums, and we're working on a 3rd album now. So it's kind of
Yeah.
it has its own momentum. It does what it needs to do. It just
Yeah.
rolls along, and it's quite a natural process. Because we get on well, it just has a role.
I think that's the secret, really, because we all do get on so well, and we're good friends. And I think, it helps. You don't have to get on with each other inside in a band, but it really does help if you do. I think.
Makes life
Yeah. You have a successful tour in 2040 in North America and South America. Tell me, you are satisfied for the tour?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, we're back out on the East Coast in Midwest in October, and we're getting more gigs, and the gigs are becoming bigger, and so it's actually progressive as well. We're getting more popular over there, which we never thought in our wildest dreams that we were ever going to be able to play in the States. Especially it was a dream when we were back in the old days when we were younger, and to be able to do all this now is fantastic.
You have a successful the last album, Atom to Atom, and 2040, and maybe you have another new material. You're recording or writing. Or
For the first time in all our history, we managed to write more songs than we needed for the last album. So we already have some songs ready for the new album, and one of the ones that Russo, the guitarist, wrote was my favourite song, and it didn't get on the album, and so that'll be on the next album.
Really good song off the album.
Well, we left several really good songs.
There was
Some great material already written, so it's half done.
you are first time here in Metaldays?
Yeah, first time.
But playing in another country in Balkans here?
Not me, no. It's my first time.
Virgin.
Yeah. But to be nice with the community in mountains here for because this is community from everywhere in the world.
That's a fantastic
It's a
setting.
great meeting. Very good meeting.
Yeah.
Good people. Very good. Yeah. Very
Harmony
good.
balance, they're very friendly.
Yeah.
I'm every year here. It's amazing. Metaldays.
It's got a nice feel to it. The whole festival has a nice feel,
It has a
It's
great
really
feel.
friendly
I did it last year with Blitzkrieg, and everybody made us feel so welcome. So it was great to come back. And I've been telling the guys, what to expect. They're really going to enjoy this tonight because it's such a great festival.
Yeah. I work in interview with Blitzkrieg, and Blitzkrieg is a similar brand, just like Satan from England, who started the big pioneer of heavy metal. This is for the end. What do you like it to say for Macedonian metal fans?
Watch this space, because we're going to come back and do some more shows over here.
Balkan tour. And another album, I guess.
Now he's lost his virginity.
You broke his cherry.
It's a big bloody cherry.
I don't want to see it.
No. We'll draw a line under that.
Yeah, but don't remember the new album is coming. The band is very active, have very heavy energy and heavy. That stay heavy and be positive. This is the band from Newcastle, who is the pioneer. The continuity.